So here it is, the early 2015 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display. In Apple land, that's how we describe it, because the name doesn't change and Apple doesn't tack on a whole lot of modifiers. In fact, as we've noticed lately, they're removing parts of the name with the new MacBook that's coming up in another month. Anyway, the 13-inch MacBook Pro is for those of you who need an all-around machine. This is probably going to be your main machine. You need to have ports and stuff like that. And not to mention the more powerful CPU that's in here. Looks-wise, this has not changed from the last one we looked at from mid-2014. Apple has not changed the casing. That's okay with me. It's still a really nice-looking machine, and it's relatively compact. It has a smaller footprint, actually, than the MacBook Air 13-inch. Not bad. Beautiful machined aluminum casing. You know what a Mac is. I don't have to tell you all that stuff. It's a nice-looking piece of hardware. Yes, it is. On this side here, we have the MagSafe charging connector, 2 Thunderbolt 2 ports, USB 3.0 port on this side, and here's our combo mic headphone jack. Microphones built into the body. And on this side right here, our full-size SD card slot. As ever, the card sticks out about halfway, so be mindful of that when you're carrying it around. Full-size HDMI and another USB 3.0 port. And by the way, those Thunderbolt 2 ports also handle mini display ports, so if you have a non-Thunderbolt display, you have something that's a mini display port, it works as well too. And you've got 2 of those, so you got a little versatility. Thunderbolt peripherals are still kind of expensive, so understandable if you don't have. Open it up and you can still do that one-handed. There it is. We have the new Force Touch Trackpad. Now the MacBook Air doesn't get this, but the 13-inch MacBook Pro does, and the upcoming 12-inch MacBook, the one without the ports, that only weighs 2 pounds. That's the one that's just the MacBook. Now, I'm sure when the 15-inch gets refreshed for the Pro line, it will also get that. And for those of you who are wondering why Apple didn't refresh that at the same time, that's because Intel has not yet released the quad-core 28-watt CPUs yet for anybody, for any platform, be it Windows or Mac. So probably June, summertime, something like that, we'll see a refresh. And God knows the 15-inch really needs it. Anyway, this trackpad. So the big deal is, instead of just clicking at the very bottom here, which is where trackpads move, they kind of cantilever and they're mounted fixed here and the springs are on the bottom. All 4 areas go down. Now that might seem like, well, that's interesting, but what's the point for that? If your hand tends to wander up towards the keyboard when you're using it, and you've ever tried tapping on or clicking on the trackpad here, especially for those of you who go with actual click rather than just the tap to do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to actually move the trackpad. There's a setting for that. Anyway, it's pretty hard to do it from the upper end. So now when your hand wanders all around, it works just as well no matter where you are. And it also has force feedback. So if you're in a web page and you want to get like a lookup of a word, you can do that. And we'll take a look at that now. So there it is. Unless you're a person who just absolutely despises Apple and all things Mac, this is a machine it's just hard not to love, honestly. And where some Apple products are overpriced, this guy really isn't. You get a lot of machine for your money. And this starts at $12.99. It's a little bit more than your base Ultrabooks that tend to be about $9.99, but you're getting that really high resolution display on this. You're getting much faster CPUs. You're getting extraordinary battery life. You're getting beautiful build quality on this. Great keyboard. I mean, it all adds up. The 15-inch MacBook Pro I've always felt was really pretty overpriced for what you're getting. I mean, $2,000 and you're still looking at integrated graphics? Come on, Apple. But this guy here with the Iris 6100 graphics, nice bump up from your usual